Got Pat Bennett here. So, who do you got next, Pat?
I don't know his name. I forget his name, I should say. He's from the American Top Team, heavyweight. Don't know much about him. Saw him fight first round of the M1 selections, but I didn't really get to see much of a quick fight.
Well, what do you think of him?
Obviously, he hits hard. He knocked this guy out, so I'm going to have to look out for heavy hands, but I think for the most part, most heavyweights, that's typically what you watch out for anyways, so I mean, he didn't show me a whole lot. It was a quick fight, so.
What did you think of your last opponent for M1?
I don't know. I went out there and did what I had to do. I mean, it's kind of tough to tell. I mean, if the fight would have went a little bit longer, who knows, but the fight was a short fight.
Well, what do you think your strengths are for this fight? Where do you think you can beat this guy?
Personally, I think, I don't know, I'd like to keep it on my feet, see what happens. If I have to go to the ground, it goes to the ground. I'm not going into it with a game plan, really. Whatever happens, happens.
Who have you been training with for this camp, and what have you been doing differently for this training camp?
I wouldn't say I've been doing really anything different. We got Mike Vicenzio, he's got a UFC fight coming up. I trained with him. Mike Aaron is the 85-pounder. He's in the M1 selection. I trained with him. We got some of the other guys from the Northeast region coming up, from different camps, working out with some big guys. We've been doing the same thing, just working hard.
So, you've had about 6 fights now. 5 of them have been knockouts. Why do you think guys are scared to fight you? You've had a hard time getting matchups. Does it have something to do with your knockout power?
I have absolutely no idea. We've, like you said, we had trouble getting fights for a long time. It may have been because of knocking people out, or maybe my wrestling background, I don't know. It's tough to get fights in the Northeast, with heavyweights especially. I couldn't tell you why, really. I mean, if they're knockouts or wrestling or what, I don't know.
How does it feel knocking out somebody?
It feels pretty good. I don't know. It's enjoyable. I enjoy it.
So what do you think you predict for this tournament? You've seen the other semifinalists. If you do win this fight, who do you think is going to advance to the finals?
I couldn't tell you, to be honest. I didn't watch the other 2 guys fight that are fighting in the semis. My understanding is that Andre Guy's pretty tough and Garner's pretty tough. Couldn't tell you, really. I mean, every fight, it seemed like the fights went really quick for the heavyweights. I think these 2 rounds will give you a better idea of what's going to happen in the finals. It'll be a little bit easier prediction. The first round went so fast that it's kind of hard to predict and tell who's who. It's just kind of a blind tournament right now.
Now you're a big guy, but there's some pretty big guys at the M1 tournament. Do you feel like you have an advantage being smaller than most of the heavyweights, or do you feel it's a disadvantage?
No, to be honest, it don't really matter. I mean, unless they're 290, 300 pounds, I don't see it. I wrestled heavyweight in college. I never had a problem with it. I think, if anything, maybe I have an advantage as far as speed, for being a little bit lighter. I wouldn't say they're stronger than me, so I don't really see an advantage on their part being bigger.
Now, do you have a full-time job? What do you do for work?
Well, I do have a full-time job, a part-time job. I consider this my full-time job, but I do work. I work for a detention center, like a foster home with troubled youth. That's what I do during the day, and that's what I do during my free time.
What do you do for fun?
This is pretty much all we do for fun. We got free time. I go to the gym a lot, hang out here.
You don't go out at all and have a good time?
Never.
No. All right. Do you have any sponsors for this upcoming fight?
Workhorse Gear. They're a company, Maximum MMA. I'd like to recognize them. See what happens as far as sponsorship coming up.
What's your long-term goals for this sport?
Long-term goals is to make this my career, my job, my day job. I'd like to get to the UFC, but I'd be content, fighting in other shows as long as it pays the bills. But that's not why I'm in it. I'm in it because I love the sport and I love competing. So, but yeah, I'd love to be, in the UFC or wherever. I consider I've won a good show, so we'll see what happens with this,
Now, what do your family members think of this sport?
First, they were a little leery just because MMA doesn't have exactly the best reputation. Well, it didn't, I shouldn't say. A lot of people kind of think it's like a bloody sport. A lot of people just don't understand it. Now, my parents are 100% behind me. They understand the sport. My dad is a huge wrestling fan, so he loves this stuff, and my family's behind it now. So.
And what team do you compete for?
Team Bomb Squad. Number 1.
Anybody else that you'd like to thank?
Just my teammates, my family, definitely my family for being supportive. My teammates, Kenny Foster, Anthony Leone, Ryan Ciatoli, all the guys on Team Bomb Squad. I'd like to give them a shout out.
Well, we'll see you at M1, Pat, and hopefully you get a knockout there and continue that streak and see you in the finals.
I hope so too.